So the topic for today is RBI's master direction for foreign remittance. In connection with imports. RBI's master directions for foreign remittance. Now, this foreign remittance, this is certainly towards a value of imports. And this import may be either goods or services. So whether goods are imported or services are imported. Payment. Payment is for the value. Now, this value part may be given by way of advance, or this may be post-import payment. How the value can be remitted. So remittance may be in advance, may be post-import. Right? Now, this remittance is always through
bank.
authorized dealer category number 1, and to a certain extent online payments are also there. What is the limit for online payment in case of export?
$10,000 US.
And for import?
Same, maybe. It's not there in this. Yeah. I've gone through.
Up to $2,000.
Just 2,000.
Balance you can always pay through the authorized dealer, not a problem. No limits on that.
Okay, sir.
When it comes to online gateway system,
Okay.
right, then the limit is there. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So directly taking you to that. So the circular is about remittances for import. Now, every word in this I have spoken, we are talking about the foreign remittance. The remittance is in relation to value. The value may be given by way of advance or maybe post-import. And import may be of goods or services. And payment is also required to be made through the authorized dealer. And in a given situation, payment can also be made online. So online gateway system is there for making payment for import also, but the limits are substantially less. Now taking you to this circular. Now you see this. Section 1 is not relevant at all because section 1 is it is introduction. So this is the introduction. This one. So this is not to be read at all. Directly we are starting from point B. Now section number 2, this is about the general guidelines for import. and these are
Operational.
operational guidelines. So operational guidelines are for whom?
For the bank, AD.
Certainly for the banker, right? It is certainly for the banker to know what procedure he is required to follow. So if we can read, good. If we can't, forget, not a problem at all. So that is their internal procedure. But certainly we will read a little bit. Section 1 omitted, section 2 directly coming here. In point number 1, what is said is, just read this. Rules and regulations to be followed by authorized dealer category 1 banks from foreign exchange angle while undertaking import payment transactions on behalf of their clients are set out in the following paragraphs. That is one part. Now, second part is more important. Where specific regulations do not exist, authorized dealer banks are governed by the normal trade practices. And AD category 1 banks may particularly note to adhere to KYC norms. So, in a nutshell, what is said is that the authorized dealer should be following the regulations. There are general regulations which we are going to talk in this, and there are specific regulations. So, if the specific regulations exist, then specific regulations will always prevail over
General.
general regulation, right? So, this is point number 1. Just take a note of this. Okay, so I'll write it in a simple language for you. Just 1 minute. So point number 1. All foreign remittances for import shall be as per prescribed regulations. Number 1. Now, second point, general regulations are prescribed in, can I use the word MD, master directions,
Okay, sir.
and specific regulations if any shall prevail over general directions. Okay. Now take very simple example. Prevail over general directions. Any remittance for imports out of EEFC account whatever balance is available in EEFC in foreign currency that can be freely utilized for
Imports.
import-export activities, right? In that case, the general directions given under this regulations do not apply. That is just one example I give. Similarly, if there are any other specific example, those will always prevail over general directions.
So what is the general over here, sir? If that is the case.
Whatever we are going to talk about in this circular,
Okay.
also the general.
So here only we are going to talk only after that. Okay.
Right. So in this circular, all point number B's, those are general directions.
Okay.
Sir, in EEFC account, even what is converted into the rupee balance is allowed for imports, or only those which for the like till the next month end, what is there, only that is allowed for imports.
Foreign currency balance can be freely utilized.
Okay, so not one which is converted already into the India.
That will be governed by these regulations.
Okay, okay. So each amount which is there is only available till the next month end.
Till the next month end, whatever amount you can utilize, make use of that. And
Okay.
by chance, if you happen to be in SEZ or in Software Technology Park or Biotechnology Park, then 100% retention is allowed.
Okay, okay.
Sir, in this case, please go ahead.
So that's what I have already answered. Now you tell me.
Sir, in this case, one thing, sir. If I want to utilize EFC account, if there is an import for me, maybe my succeeding month, I'm going to, for example, this 30th, I'm going to get it converted automatically. But if I have any import, commitment, I may be able to give an application to the bank manager, asking him, I'm going to have this much of an import so that I can utilize for this. In his own discretion, he may be able to allow it.
No. EEFC account is not governed on the basis of request. There is standard direction, whatever balance is outstanding as on particular date, that has to be converted.
Fine, sir.
Okay. Option available to you is that if the contract or agreement permits and if it is commercially viable, make advance payment.
Okay.
So when you make payment in advance, if the imports are completed within 6 months, there are no questions.
Okay.
Right? Like if you happen to receive advance for export, how much time is available for export for fulfilling the export commitment?
1 year.
Right?
1 year.
In case of import, it is other way around. If you're making an advance payment for import, in that situation, advance can be given so that the export is, or rather imports are received within 6 months time. Subsequently, authorized dealer will follow it up. Okay. So since you know about export in detail, these can be studied in comparison.
Yes.
Okay. Now see this. Remittances for import payments. AD1, all the payments have to be made to the authorized dealer only. Which law governs this?
For FEMA.
Certainly FEMA, but which section? Section number 3.
On basis of declaration. On basis of declaration, section.
There is dealing in
remittances, either inward or outward, have to be only through authorized dealer.
So dealing in foreign exchange, etc.
Yes.
Section number 3.
It is dealing. So dealing means import, export, remittance, buying, selling, everything. So dealing is a big word.
Okay.
Okay. So AD category 1 may allow remittances for making payment of imports into India after ensuring that all the requisite details are available made available by the importer. Remittances bona fide trade transaction. So this is a discretionary authority given to the authorized dealer, because everywhere it is the responsibility of authorized dealer to ensure this, ensure that. So whether it is a pure commercial transaction or not. So that's why when a fresher goes to authorized dealer, asking for foreign currency for export, he finds it little difficult. An existing exporter or importer going, he gets a transaction done immediately. Why does it happen? Answer lies here. If the importer can have the complete details that this is a commercial transaction, maybe the first transaction, and if he can satisfy the authorized dealer, objections will not be there. But otherwise, number of objections are likely to be there. So in general, authorization has been given to the authorized dealer to make the remittance. How the remittance is done, little bit later we are going to see. Import license. Now, where the import license is required?
Restricted items like?
Regulated, not restricted.
Yes. Yeah, regulated.
Right. So there are three types of goods which are free for import, prohibited, and regulated. So when the items are regulated, the license is required. So here it is said that except the goods included in the negative list, prohibited items.
Yeah, prohibited.
Right. Which require license under the foreign trade policy in force, authorized dealer category number 1. Now here it says negative list, at the same time it talks about the license. What does it mean?
That apart from the prohibited products, if there is anything, it's open.
Under the Customs Act, by chance prohibited goods include those goods for which license is required.
Which means to say, sir?
Now just giving you a reference of section 11 of the Customs Act. Section 11. This section says the board may prohibit import or export or both of an article either conditionally or unconditionally. If it is unconditional, this is called as absolute prohibition. Right? If the prohibition is conditional, it means import or export is allowed subject to fulfillment of certain condition or conditions. So if the prohibition is conditional and if a condition is fulfilled, then what happens?
To watch full video, join the regular online batch Call Tayal Institute.